What's up, everyone? Nick and Mac back with another episode of Empty the Benches. We are fired up. We got a lot of juice for this one, mainly because we've had a great week of NHL action, but also more so, I think, because we are going to be in the same place at the same time, probably when everyone is listening to this. We've got our event coming up at Elwoods this weekend. It's going to be a blast for the Admirals home opener. Mac, I know you are just as excited about this as I am.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's always fun when we get to throw parties at Elwoods. Great bar. I like to hang out there a lot anyway, so it's just an excuse for me to know for sure that my friends are going to come and hang out with me while I'm there. That being said, I'm really excited to kick off this Admirals season too. Went to a lot of games last couple of years. I've been going to more and more games, and it's a fun team to follow. It's been fun to see a lot of those guys make it up to the Preds too. So excited for the first minor league hockey game of the year in Milwaukee, and to fully initiate mill hockey mode, as they say around these parts.
There you go. What percentage of Admirals fans do you think know what an Admiral is or could explain it? I feel like that's something we might have to ask the people at Elwoods on Saturday.
It could be a fun question to ask. I do think a decent amount would or should know, because they lean pretty heavily into the theme, like in the in-game entertainment. Like there's a boat that comes out, like a pirate ship.
That's true.
That comes out when the Zambonis are going around. They bring like this boat that's like circling around, getting in the Zamboni driver's way and shit. So that's pretty fun. But they do all kinds of, like, there's like a sea theme kind of to the whole event. So hopefully you would think people are paying attention and they're like, oh yeah, I know what an Admiral is, but
good.
You never know. Honestly, it might be worth asking.
Out of all the little like Admiral guys that they've used in their branding, like I know they had like the throwback one who's got like the very quintessential like 1700s era like sailing captain hat, and then they had like the one in like the Reebok Edge era, which was just like the skull with the little pirate hat on it. Do you have a favorite out of all of those?
I kind of go back and forth, and it's like affected by the jerseys and the uniforms themselves. If we're talking just logos though, I do like the skull and bone one, but I think my favorite one is just like that, not the full body Admiral with the sword, but like just the head one where his hat is like huge.
Like the Master and Commander kind of one.
Yeah. There's also like a third jersey they rock sometimes that literally just has a big fridge with a hockey stick on it. Okay, I forget like what the origin was, if there was some player they called like the fridge or some, I don't know, there's some story behind it. I've heard it. I always forget, but those logos are pretty sick.
They are pretty sick. So come hang out with us at Elwoods if you're in the Milwaukee area. We're going to be doing a bunch of fun stuff, trivia for you guys, chatting with you guys. I think there's going to be plenty of drink specials. You can check that out on our Instagram page or on Elwoods' Instagram page. They always have amazing deals for these games and watch parties. And Mac, what are there any NHL games that are on Saturday that are going to be going on simultaneously while we're at Elwoods?
Yeah, so there is a whole bunch of NHL games on Saturday. Bar opens at 2 p.m. We'll be getting there around that time. We'll have Islanders and Senators at 2 p.m. We'll have Devils and Oilers at 2:30, so we'll be able to kind of watch those games while we're pre-gaming and hanging out with people. And then there's a whole bunch of games later. Some of them start kind of run simultaneously with the game we'll be at, the Admirals game. But by the time we get back to the bar, we'll still have a couple of late ones that we can tune into. Bruins Avs, Canes Kings, that should be a good game. And then the late games, Golden Knights Flames, and the Super Bowl of the Pittsburgh Penguins at the San Jose Sharks. That should be a thriller at 9 p.m. local time. So
nice.
We'll have all that hockey, and like I said, hopefully a Brewers Game 5 to watch.
Hopefully.
If they can find a way to win a game before between now and Saturday. We'll see. So.
That would be nice. And yeah, just a reminder, it is a pre and post game party. So don't go home after the game. Go right back to Elwoods. Leave your bar tabs open. It'll be fine. No one will steal them. It'll be cool.
My friends, I've been cracking some of them up because I've like texted this invite to like everyone I know, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, for sure I'll be there, or I'll come to the game, but I can't come after, or whatever it is. And the few people that have just been like, oh, sorry, I have like this thing on Saturday. I've been like, oh, well, no worries, because like, so you could come anytime between like 2 p.m. and like midnight. So I'm sure you're not busy the entire time. Like, so
Right.
yeah, I'll see you at some point. And they're like, right,
Yeah.
yeah, no, all right, yeah, okay, I'll figure something out.
I love it. Yeah, definitely come check out what we have going on at Elwoods. Nathan and everyone there always takes great care of us, so big thanks to them. They run a great business. Mac, I had this thought the other day while I was definitely not pooping, but if you were to start a business with any current NHL player, who would it be and why?
That's a good one. A current player,
Yeah, see, current is like the
because
thing that gets me.
you go to the like recently retired guys who have all started to move into the business world and also
Right.
have like learned their lessons financially over the years and like aren't
Yeah.
going to be stupid.
And like, let's clarify. I don't necessarily just want this to be someone who you could slap their face on the business and then like you would be able to sell product because of it.
No,
Like
it's
they need to contribate to the business.
yeah, like you guys are business partners running the company together.
Right.
Man, I mean, I'd still probably go towards like an older-ish guy. So maybe like well, I was gonna say John Carlson,
I
but
was also gonna say John
the
Carlson.
problem is in like all the like Cap social media clips, he's always being like, "Oh, I suck at math," or like, "Oh, I'm not
That's
good."
true.
Like he's just I don't know if he's necessarily like the smartest guy. I'm not saying he's like dumb as a rock, but
Maybe one of his teammates though. I feel like Matt Roy is a really smart guy who just happens to be really good at hockey.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's definitely a couple like smart guys on the Caps.
Yeah.
Who else around the league though? I maybe like
Adam Fox went to Harvard.
Okay, that's good. What do you think of like an Anders Lee? Is there anything
I feel
there?
like he would be pretty good at it.
I
Wasn't
feel like
he
that could maybe work.
Was he a Notre Dame guy?
I can't remember. I should know that some of these colleges. That would help to know.
Yeah. Someone let us know where he went to college. I forget that one, but
maybe definitely no goalies. I'm not starting a business with a goalie.
Not even close.
If I had to give one more, maybe like it does feel like defensemen are kind of the move for some reason to me.
Yeah. In a weird way that you say no goalies, you would almost say yes to more defensemen, I feel like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're just like, they just kind of, a lot of them have their head screwed on straight. They're just like kind of no nonsense, like normal guy. I mean, growing up, all the defensemen were like, I wouldn't say all, but they were more normal, I feel like, in their like personal lives, you know?
Definitely.
It was always like the wingers and like the centers and stuff that were like the crazy party guys and like, you know, the flashy goal scoring and that kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe just like a steady Eddie, stay-at-home defenseman who's been in the league for a while. Who fits that bill?
Like Travis Hamonic.
Okay, yeah, why not? I mean, or like a well, I think didn't he finally just retire, but like a Calvin DeHaan or something like that.
That's a good one. Also recently retired Mark Giordano could have been a good one.
Oh, he would be a great one. What about like a Connor Murphy or like
I like that.
Or even like I feel like Seth Jones could maybe do it.
Seth Jones would be good.
Yeah. Okay, there's a bunch of answers. I'd take any one of those guys I mentioned.
I like that we're leaning defenseman, though. Yeah. I'm happy with that answer.
I think that's the right call.
Yeah. Let's move on to some real hockey. Let's start with the Caps. We had one game to chat about last time we spoke to you guys. Now we've got 3 to talk about, so we've got 4 total under their belt. But just to quickly recap their recent road trip, they go into the Islanders on Long Island, get a 4-2 win there. I thought that was a great game for them. Love to see 4 goals on the board and also love to see them keeping the Islanders to 2. I think, you know, with what's going on with that team right now in New York, Sorokin's going to be carrying a lot of the load for the Islanders. But other than that, just I was pretty happy with what I saw from the Caps. Great goal from Ryan Leonard in that game. And then they carry it over to MSG the following night. 1-0 win against the Rangers. We'll get into the Rangers fracas in a little bit. And then they followed that up coming back home with a 3-2 overtime win against Tampa Bay last night. Out of those 3 games, what impressed you the most?
Um, Honestly, I think this is kind of the sentiment that I said after the first game. I said that Tom Wilson was like the most engaged player on the ice, and I think he has been every single game so far. I mean, he's scoring goals, he's hitting people like it's the playoffs. He just looks really. It seems weird to say, but it almost looks like he's like taking a step forward.
Yeah,
He just looks so mature out there and so ready to like be the leader on this team, like once Ovi decides he's done, whenever that may be. Um, and so I think all in all, if I had to say one guy I'm most impressed with, it's Willie. Protus is scoring goals, like, that's really good to see after the season he had last year. We want that to continue. I will say though, like, I know it's only 4 games now, but it is a little concerning that we're not really getting a ton of production from like Ovi, Strome, McMichael, Dubois. Like, I know Dubois is hurt now too, but like those guys need to be the guys that are scoring a lot too. I want the depth scoring. I'm glad to see Beauvillier get a goal. Awesome that like Marty Feravari gets a goal in that other
right.
game too. But like you want to see Ovi and Stromer especially like scoring goals. So hopefully that comes soon.
That's a great point. That was my takeaway from the first 4 games, and mainly the first 2 periods of all those games, with the exception of the Islanders game. I was just like, okay, like, where are the chances coming from, guys? Like, passing looks a little bit off at times. There's a couple missed plays here and there, but it just didn't seem like they were generating a ton. They were still finding ways to win this game or these games, which has kind of been the Caps' bread and butter for a little while now. But I totally agree. You want specifically, I would say a little bit more production out of 17 here. I love
Yeah.
Dylan Strome,
Yeah.
but it's definitely been a little bit of a slower start. Protus, I totally agree, looks great. The play with him and McMichael last
Oh,
night from
that
the
was
Tampa
so
Bay
sick.
game was fantastic. And his interview with Al Koken, where he said his mom could have scored that afterwards, was hilarious. But
Yeah.
yeah, Mikey looks fantastic. He's skating really well.
Yeah,
I
he
like
is.
the long hair on Mikey. He's got some swag to him this year. So that's been awesome to see. And then the goaltending. I mean,
Both of them look excellent.
oh my
Holy shit.
goodness. I mean, this is the best goaltending tandem in the league. You cannot convince me otherwise. Both of these guys are starters, I think, on 90% of NHL teams here. So Chucky looks fantastic in MSG, blanks the Rangers, and then obviously LT wins the duel against Vasi last night, which the Bolts had a back-to-back, and they saved Vasi for the Caps. And Victor Hedman decided to take a nap the whole game. So
Yeah.
that game got chippy. I don't know if you watched the entire thing, but it got nasty towards the end.
Yeah.
Whatever the younger of the 2 geeky brothers was just being the biggest little whiny crybaby run away from Trevor Van Riemsdyk,
I know,
wouldn't
and
throw down with him. I was like, oh, you're
TVR's like
so
yanking him
soft.
around,
Like,
and he's
yeah.
just staring at him like,
Yeah. I was like, you're so soft, dude. Especially if you're going to be the second guy to jump into a dog pile and wrestle Chikrin, and then you're not going to
Yeah.
answer for it. It's just
there was some clown show shit for sure, but
absolutely. And then I don't know if you noticed this, but John Cooper wasn't thrilled with any penalty that was called on his team, which
yeah, I mean,
it just must be a new concept for him. But just other impressions about the Caps overall. Anything you'd like to see with the upcoming schedule going forward, other than increased goal production?
good to see us finally get a power play goal.
Yep.
I think the chances have been there. Hopefully they start to see the rewards a little bit more. Next game is against the Minnesota Wild this Friday. We'll be at the Canucks Blackhawks game in Chicago, so won't really get to watch too much of that one, but hopefully we get a dub there. We honestly, I feel like we've had a pretty tough schedule to open up.
I agree.
A lot of good teams. Minnesota's good. We got the Canucks on Sunday after that, and then to look ahead one more after the Kraken. So maybe come back home, play the Kraken, and get a little bit of a easier opponent there, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Like what I'm seeing from the guys so far. Hopefully they can tighten things up a little bit. Another guy, I know I texted you about this last night, that I've been pretty impressed with is Justin Sordiff. Really,
Yeah.
really good skater, really agile, moving the puck really well. Had a breakaway last night, couple good scoring chances. So I think at one point they moved him up to the third line and moved Leonard down to the fourth. So nice to see a bit of an option there that the Caps have and someone they brought in the offseason.
Yeah, he looks sort of impressive. And he sort of did have a breakaway, and
Yeah.
he sort of shot it right at the glove, but
It's kind of hard to do when Victor Hedman is all over your back.
He was sort of being pressured, so that's sort of the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. But
Exactly.
yeah, he sort of looks good.
He sort of does. Let's go up to Montreal. They had some big news over the week. They lock up Lane Hutson to an 8-year extension carrying an AAV of $8.85 million. And so that essentially means that Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Hudson, Suzuki, Gooley, and Dobson are all locked up through at least 2030.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I've caught a couple of their games. I caught the tail end of their game last night where Demidov tied it with a ridiculous move. The place explodes like it's the playoffs, sends the game to overtime. I don't want any part of that team. That team was a hard enough pain in the ass team that the Caps had to play in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
If I was anyone in the Eastern Conference, that is nightmare fuel. They're only going to get better. I do think right now, though, they're probably your best bet for an over team. Like, they're going to let in 3 a night, but then they're going to score 5 of their own.
That's kind of true, honestly. I think that's a good point. But yeah, they look nasty. I completely agree with you. And there's something about like locking up your defenseman for that long and for that many good defensemen that's so scary. Like, I think it's more important than locking up like 2 forwards or like some, just locking up your entire decor like that and just knowing, hey, we've got at least 5 really good defensemen all here for at least 5 more years unless we say otherwise. Like, that's threatening.
It also gives them options too, because any one of those defensemen, I mean, they could at some point in a year or 2 years go, you know what, I want a little bit more depth, with the forwards. Let's move one of these guys and get 2 to 3 pieces back in return just to sort out some depth here.
Yeah. No, they definitely could.
Gives them some options. Yeah, I don't like that at all, but I will say from what I've seen from that arena just in the first couple games of this season, there's just a whole new level of energy in that building that I don't think we've seen in the last 5 or so years.
Dialed in for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. A team that is not dialed. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, and that is what is going on with the New York Rangers. Of course, it's not going well, so of course it's time to hit the panic button and blow up everything, right, Mac?
Yeah, they should trade everyone and fire some people and just try again next year because it's too late.
100%. Yeah, so it's not going well. They have not scored at home yet this season. They are the first team ever to be shut out in 3 home games to start a season. So that's not great. I think this is really interesting because we had these guys, kind of on the fringe for a lot of people if they were going to make the postseason. People were very split. Some people, were thinking these guys were going to come back and have a huge breakout year following what happened last year. Some people thought they were going to slide a little bit more and that they got a little bit weaker, depth-wise and on the back end. I know Trocheck's out long-term right now. We're hoping he gets back before the Olympics, but what do you think is going on with the Rangers and how concerned should Rangers fans be?
Well, what's funny is like the numbers, like the underlying numbers are not even that bad. Like they've got a +3 goal differential. They've scored 10 goals in 5 games, so I guess that's not great. But they're not, they've only let in 7 goals, I think. Their goals against, at least on the NHL app, says 7, which that's good. They just can't score when they're losing games. Haven't 2 of those shutouts been, or I guess one of them was 2-0, one of them was 1-0, and the other was 3?
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
But a bunch of empty netters involved. They were all basically 1-0 games, essentially. Yes. So that's the good news if you're a Rangers fan, is you're not getting killed 6-0. but it
Right.
doesn't really matter, I guess. I mean, a loss is a loss. You're still getting no points. But if you want to hang your head on something, it's like, okay, so the defense and the goaltending is fine. You just need to score goals.
Yeah, exactly. I think in the last 2 years, and I would say Zibanejad needs to put the puck in the net.
Yes.
The finishing is just not there. It hasn't been there. I'm a little bit more sympathetic when it comes to Panarin because I have all the faith in the world that at some point this year it's going to wake up with him
Well,
as it usually does. But
that's true. The thing, though, with Panarin is like more and more. Now, I wouldn't take it this far, but I am going to use this analogy just because it's a funny one. I'm a little scared he's going to turn into like what we always criticize Matt Barzal for never wanting to shoot the puck. Because the Rangers games I've watched this year, like he passes up the opportunity to shoot a lot because he's trying to make like a sweet passing play.
right.
And this is a guy who has scored 37 goals last year, 49 the year before, 29 the year before that. Like, I mean, he's basically been a 30-goal scorer 3 years in a row now. So I don't think it's anything to worry about. You know, that's why I said I don't want to use the Matt Barzal analogy because he's not.
Right.
It's not going to be that bad, but someone's got to shoot the puck for the Rangers. And if Zibanejad's not scoring, then fuck it, Panarin, rip one on net instead of making that extra pass. That's all I'm saying.
Someone has to. I mean, they had a decent amount of power play opportunities in that 1-0 loss to the Caps, and there was a couple decisions where I'm like, why are you guys passing this up? You've got not only the goalie out of position, you've got defensemen out of position. Just get it on net, and even if you don't, like, get it perfectly. Hopefully you get a bounce or something. I mean, I'm glad they didn't, but yeah, I think it just needs to be simplified a little bit there. I thought JT Miller made some good comments in his post-game presser, like, hey, we don't want to blow this out of proportion. It's just a little bit of a rough start, and I totally agree with that. But
yeah, and then he said something about how this is all Elias Pettersson's fault or something like
basically,
that.
Basically, wait, which one? Because now there's two of them.
He didn't say. It sounds like probably both. I think he's mad at both of them. So.
Probably.
Yep.
Mac, before we move on, I think you have a word from our friends over at DraftKings, who are the proud sponsor of this episode.
Yes, I sure do. Football is back, and so is your shot at big wins with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Your game day instincts can score you real money fast. Here's the play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats from breakout rookies to elite QBs and unlock the upside every snap brings. The better your calls, the better your payout. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Yeah, so don't necessarily know what the solution is there for the Rangers, but I am not worried. Let me ask you this. If this keeps up and this is kind of just who they are for the rest of the season, is Igor enough to get that team into a postseason position? Or
I mean, not at this rate. Like, if it keeps up to this, you can't be getting shut out on home ice every night, obviously.
Right.
That's it has to come to an end, and it's going to come to an end. But I don't think they can even be like a 2-goal-a-game team. You can't count on Igor to only let in 1 or shut out every game. Like, I mean, you were talking about best tandems in the league. Igor and Jonathan Quick should be one of, if not the best tandem in the league. So that's good. But I mean, with how good their defense and goaltending has been and is, all they really need to do is score like 3 goals, like, and some nights 2 will get you there. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't be getting shut out. That's like the only way
Yeah,
to
that's a good point.
certainly lose.
Yeah, well, let's go from one struggling New York team to another. Let's go upstate and talk about the Buffalo Sabres. So, like what, 78, 79 games left in the season, and we've already got Fire Adams chants and jerseys on the ice.
Paper bags over fans' heads at the games. I
Yeah,
mean,
this
they're
is
in
just-
mid-season form.
It's Sabre stuff you expect in November, not in October. So this is their second consecutive year starting off 0-3. They have scored just 2 goals so far and have not led at any point this season. Josh Norris is now expected to miss significant time with an upper body injury, according to head coach Lindy Ruff. Mac, what the hell is going on with the Sabres? And I feel like you and I are going to have a lot to say about this one.
It's actually insane. Three games, 2 goals, and they've let in 10 or more, somewhere around there. I'm actually kind of speechless. Like, I don't understand how a team can continue to be like this every single year. And at what point, like, you and I were talking about, like, management and tenure and who's there and how long people have been there. And it's what, Kevin Adams is the GM?
Yes.
Has been for 5 years.
Right.
That's 5 years, dude. Like, and they haven't really even come very close in any of those 5. I mean, maybe there was 1 year where they were like a handful of points out of the last playoff spot, but I'm talking like they weren't like about to make it. Like, we all kind of knew they weren't going to make it, even if.
And like at that point, you're just hurting yourself.
Yeah, like even if they were technically, I don't know, 6 or 7 points out of that final spot, like, sure, mathematically that's close, but like, you weren't close to making it. You know, they sold at the deadline pretty much every year. Like, it's just, what the fuck is the plan? Like, I just want to see like some sort of like PowerPoint or like spreadsheet that shows me like what the game plan is and how they're ever going to be better. We talked in our preseason, like our previews, about how what the fuck is the plan for the Kraken?
Yeah.
That's a great point. At least they have like some like resemblance of like an NHL roster. Like, I don't even know what the fuck to do about the Buffalo problem, and it's become like this big stigma too. Like, it's almost like anyone there just feels this dread of like, holy fuck, I play for the Buffalo Sabres, we suck. Because their roster's not even like that bad. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
And again, it hurts to get Norris injured right now, and he's had that injury bug for a while, it seems. But I just don't know. I'm at a loss. Like, anytime I end up talking about the Buffalo Sabres, I just kind of do what I'm doing now, which is just like question everything, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not good at all across the board. I've watched a couple of these games so far this season, and it looks bad. Like, everything looks bad. And, you know, we talked a little bit before the show just about how much turnover they have. I think these guys, with the exception of Lindy Ruff the first time, I don't think they've had a coach that has stayed longer than 3 years, maybe 1 or 2 in there, but it's just been constant change, constant turnover this whole time. And like you said, it just seems like there is no plan. So I don't really know what else you can do here. I also just genuinely feel bad for this fan base. Like, Rangers fans, we're laughing because you're struggling right now, and it's bringing the entire sports world joy because you're all just terrible fans, and we all know that. It's just like Eagles fans. Sabres fans, I'm like, you guys have nothing. Like, it has been a very long time since that hockey team was good, competitive, and, you know, not only fighting for a playoff spot, but going to then contend in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And we want you to do well. We genuinely want you to be in the postseason and fix whatever is going on with this franchise. But
yeah, like, everyone's rooting for them.
like, if you're gonna like tank for the first overall pick and that's your plan, I respect it. Like, if you're gonna do it any year, this is the year to do it.
Yeah, right.
But oh my goodness, like now apparently there's rumors that Dahlin and Thompson have gone to the front office and said okay, like what are we doing here? Because this needs to change. And I thought Dahlin's comments in the media the other day where he's like, we got to stop this bullshit was fantastic. Like that's a great captain right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I go back to like my childhood. Buffalo was a scary team. I hated the Sabres. Like, as a Caps fan, I never wanted to play them.
The red and black Sabres, man.
Danny Briere, Ryan Miller in goal, Lindy Ruff behind the bench, like, the first time. Yeah, Miroslav Satan. They had Max Afanaganov. Like, they were nasty, dude, and I hated them because they were so good. And I never thought I'd get to a moment now where I'm just like, dude, like, I just feel bad. Like, just let him in. Let him be in the playoffs again. Holy shit.
It's kind of frustrating, too, when you lump in the Buffalo Bills aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of getting, like, I felt bad for Bills fans for a while. Now I'm annoyed by Bills fans because Bills Mafia is just so obnoxious.
What I know, the second the Sabres make it back, I'm going to be like, all right, fuck these guys. But
exactly.
But right now, it feels so bad. I'm like, no one should have to deal with this much of a drought of, like, their team being shitty, except maybe Flyers fans. That's funny to me, and I don't really care.
Yeah, I think it also hits a little bit harder for us just as American hockey fans because it's a great hockey market in the U.S. And hockey has grown so much, but that's one of the original hotbeds for it.
Stadium, too. Like, that's another reason you never wanted to play them. When I was growing up, it's like, dude, that place was fucking loud when you would have to go there and play there. Like, nobody wanted to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question to you is, can you think of any other sports fan base that has it harder than Buffalo Sabres fans right now?
Right now?
You've got teams like the New York Jets, the Detroit Lions, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. I mean, the Browns, you could certainly make a case, I think.
That's pretty bad.
Or like the Oakland Athletics or something. I mean, they're not even the Oakland Athletics.
That's
like,
a brutal one.
That's like a tough situation. They're like getting moved and they've sucked forever and they're not really getting better.
And they played in a football stadium.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of sorry teams. We could definitely have that debate for a long time, but I think the team you could probably make the strongest case for is maybe the Browns.
I'd have to go with the Jets. Like, I know the Jets have made the playoffs. I think we were in high school, middle school, maybe. I forget exactly when.
Sounds right.
They won a Super Bowl once and just have done nothing since.
Yeah, and they're like a storied franchise, too, with like a devout fan base similar to Buffalo.
And like, if we're going to use this season as like a little synopsis of it, they start off that first game, those first 3 quarters looking amazing. And then they blow that game and have not won a game since. They're like, what, 0-6, 0-7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is brutal. I know we have some Jets fans that listen to the pod, so, we're thinking of you guys. But, oh, man, it is not good to be a Jets or a Sabres fan right now.
While we're talking New York, I mean, we did the Rangers, we did the Sabres. We might as well do the other New York hockey team who is also 0-3. There's there's 3 teams in the league right now who have not won a game, and it's Buffalo, the Islanders, and the Sharks. The Sharks have at least taken 2 games to overtime, so they've still got 2 points in the standings. But the Sabres and the Islanders both 0-3-0, nothing to show for their first 3 games.
Yeah, that's not good. The Islanders thing is the most concerning to me out of those 3. Like the Sharks, you kind of knew were that's a team that's in transition. They're going to be bad for probably another 2 to 3 years minimum.
Yeah, but they're still hanging in games too, going to overtime. Like they have really nothing to be ashamed of with that. I would say.
Not at all. They're still competitive.
That's just how their first 3 games were probably supposed to go. And if anything, they're like, hey, we almost won 2 of them. Whatever.
Right. The Islanders thing to me is concerning because I will tell Islanders fans right now, Sorokin is not good enough by himself to carry you to the playoffs.
What's crazy is like 2 or 3 years ago when Sorokin had that one like really good season, I believed he was the best goalie in the NHL. Like I know
agree.
how good that guy can be and how good he was that year. I was like, holy shit, I think raw talent wise, this guy's the best goalie in the NHL. He just doesn't get as much praise as like
Right.
Igor or like Hellebuck because like the defense like sometimes, or honestly the offense lets him down more often than not and doesn't score enough goals or whatever it is. He just sometimes doesn't get the accolades. But ever since then, I mean, he's had injury problems the last couple of years. So far this year, first couple games, nothing special really. I mean, they've let in, let's see how many goals. 13 goals against in 3 games.
Yeah, that is not good. That is the second worst goal differential in the Eastern Conference. The only team that's worse is the Buffalo Sabres.
Yep, that's bad. That's real bad.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is there. I would think at some point, though, that's got to start with who's behind the bench. You know, I don't know if Patrick Waugh makes it the whole season if this continues through November and into December.
Well, if we think back to the Metro preview, I think my dad said he was like, I'm not sure that Patrick Waugh is the right guy there, and I'm not sure he'll be there forever. So,
yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think, though, with the Islanders, considering that just, what was it, 2019 or 2020, that team went to the Eastern Conference Final?
Yeah, that's right.
That is just...
Lost to Tampa, right?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah, that's a hard one to remember back to, but that was wild. And just, you know, thinking about them, you know, with those playoff series against the Caps, too, when we were in college, is just wild.
Yeah, that series that Kuzi won for us in Game 7, that was a freaking dogfight of a series.
Yeah, I don't know if I've told this story on the pod. I probably have, so sorry if you're hearing this one again. But that was in the middle of the Baltimore riots kind of thing. And, you know, I went to college at Towson, which is 15 minutes outside of Baltimore City. So they put like campus on lockdown for a little while, and we just ignored it and went to Bill Bateman's, and we're watching the Caps game against the Islanders.
Bill Bateman's, what a place, what an establishment.
Good time. They've destroyed it now. They made it part of the math building and ruined it. So
good, great, man.
Yeah. Glad that's where all of our tuition money went. So
you're saying that they made it a math building, and that's a problem.
It is a math problem.
That sounds like a math problem.
Yeah. I always liked when it was just in the basement of the math building because I couldn't think of a better building to put a bar in, like after having to do like a college level math or like computer science class. You could just go over there and erase your brain for the last like 3 hours.
Yeah, that's ideal, I would say.
Yeah. Has anyone else so far, any of the games you've watched, jumped out where you're like, hey, these guys are a lot better than I thought, or hey, these guys are kind of ass?
Well, I'd say this isn't necessarily these guys are better or these guys are ass, but a team that's confusing me a lot so far is the Detroit Red Wings. Because I really thought that, and I think I said it in the previews, I really thought that the Gibson thing was the right way to go, and that would be a big step up from what they've had with all these fucking Mrazek and Husso and Lyon and all these guys over the last couple of years. I was like, no, this is definitely an upgrade from that caliber of goalie. And he comes in and plays like one of the worst games ever in his debut. And they haven't let him touch the ice since.
Yeah.
He's not even playing right now. It's like game 4 or 5 for them. They won't let him back in the fucking net. Like, normally that happens to a guy and you're like, okay, let's sit him for a night, maybe 2, let him shake it off, and then you want to get him right back in
the
there.
Band-Aid
You
off
don't
and get
want
right
him
back in
sitting
there.
on that game performance for like a week and a half or 2, and that's exactly what he's fucking doing. Granted, Cam Talbot's been really good ever since he's been called to step in and answer the call there, but like, I'm not sure what the fuck the plan is now that you just traded for John Gibson. He plays 1 game and is atrocious, and now they're just like, okay, hide that guy in a closet and don't let him out until I say so. And it's like, hey, can we let him out of the closet yet? And they're like, no.
Right, no. He's still in timeout.
Okay, well, they're beating the Panthers right now, so I guess whatever.
Yeah, I think their goal differential is like dead even, right? They've allowed 10, scored 10 on the year.
Correct.
So, yeah, they're definitely going to look to be changing that. I think if I had to pick one team that I would say I'm a little bit underwhelmed by to start, it would be the Calgary Flames. They're 1-3 to start the year, -7 goal differential so far. Just, I would say, a slow start. I'm not as concerned about them as I would be around a couple other teams. I know Markstrom might have some injury problems coming up here soon, so that could be a little bit of an issue for them. But overall, not as concerned as I would be for someone that's, maybe like in the position of the Blackhawks or the Mammoth or the Sharks or something.
Yep. Also, the Ducks look really good, and the excitement around them is hype. By the way, did you see those mask giveaways?
I did.
I had like non-hockey fans that don't know a thing about hockey. They're my friends hitting me up being like, holy shit, those Ducks giveaways were like money. And I was like, how do you know about that?
See, like, I think that's something you have to do to drive like fans to come in, right? Especially with this being the fourth of the 4 major North American pro sports. That kind of stuff is important.
It is.
Did you see what the Sabres came up with as their like fan interaction thing? Like, you remember that beer stick you got in Chicago?
Yeah, the saber.
The beer saber. And did you read the replies on that? Like, oh, good. Now I can impale myself when I watch the Sabres play.
If you go on Twitter and go to the Buffalo Sabres page and just click on any of their posts and read the comments, it is like pure gold comedy right now.
It's so good.
Somebody posted a thing that was like, I think I sent it to you guys or you sent it to me or something, but the fucking like enter to win a 5-game ticket pack where you get like tickets to 5 games you're choosing or something for the Sabres. The comments are so funny. They're so fucking funny. Like people being like, I can't think of like a bigger way to waste my time than, or like, oh good, I win a contest and I get to have my heart broken 5 times. No, you got to go on there and check out some of them. But back to the Ducks for a second. I don't know if you saw the highlight, but Chris Kreider the other night scored his second power play goal of the game. I think there's like less than 2 minutes left, and it gave the Ducks the lead. That play sounded like fucking Winnipeg in the playoffs damn near. Like, maybe not that loud, but like I was watching the clip and the place fucking exploded. I was like, there we go. Okay.
I do have to give that fan base a lot of credit. The Duck Pond has always been a building that rocks.
Yes.
And most of the California teams have always had that, but I think they know what they have coming.
Yeah, and they've seen it, and they're like thirsty for that. Like they want that like Getzlav and Perry like fucking like powerhouse of a team back, and they've done a lot to like try and build that up. I'm actually going to be at later this year in December. I will be at Capitals at Ducks in Anaheim.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
I haven't been to that stadium in a couple of years, but I'm excited to be there now that they're kind of on the up and up and things are looking.
What is it? Is it still the Honda Center now?
I think so.
I remember when it was the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. Good times.
Duck Pond.
Exactly. Love the Duck Pond. Speaking of the Ducks, one of the players they traded away, Trevor Zegras, to the Flyers. It looks like he's had a really, really good start for them. I saw that great play he made behind the net the other night that wasn't
when Bennett's trying to take his head off.
Yeah, exactly. So looks like the transition to Philly has worked out pretty well for him.
Well, Bennett like rocked. That play was funny because Bennett absolutely rocks Couturier and he goes flying, and then Bennett just gets up and takes a beeline after Zegras. Like he was just a wrecking ball that shift. He was like must hit guy with puck, and he comes flying after Zegras, and in the meantime Couturier collects himself and gets up to his feet and goes to the net, and Zegras just kind of shirks the hit off and finds him in front. It was a good play. But yeah, I mean, as much as I like to shit on the Flyers and say I like it when they're bad, I'm excited for the Trevor Zegras potential comeback storyline. I think that could be a fun story in Philly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe towards the end he was a little underutilized in Anaheim, or they didn't really know exactly where he fit. I know at times they were saying, does this guy need to play on the wing? Can he play down the middle? So I think for a young player, especially in the NHL, once you can figure out sort of where you belong, I think that's such a huge help because then you can just go back to simplifying your game.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else before we wrap up here, or just focused on Elwoods? I feel like we're just focused on Elwoods.
Yeah, we got to get to tomorrow. Thursday is going to be a great day. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, just to reiterate, if you're in the Milwaukee area, come hang out this Saturday, the 18th. Go to the Admirals game. Go to Elwoods before and after. Hang out with us. Make a trivia video for our socials with us. Yeah, maybe even do a pizza luge with us. You might win a prize.
Yeah. Pizza luges are a lot of fun. I feel like you might need a demo for the followers on
Maybe
social
like
media.
right when we get there at 2, I'll knock back a quick za and
just a quick cup of coffee, right?
knock it out real quick. Yeah, just for demonstration purposes.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, like Max said, we will see you guys all at Elwoods and catch you in the next episode.